I wrote two chapters of the book. One is about Malta and one is about Winston Churchill. In terms of Malta, the governor who was appointed, governor of Malta, Ian Dobby, he was a very firm evangelical Christian. He prayed openly when people ran to his governor's residence. He held impromptu prayer meetings with the people there and prayed openly after meals and all of that kind of thing. And there were various acts of deliverance. And perhaps the most remarkable thing is the cathedral with a dome roof, very famous, iconic building in Malta. A missile actually fell on top of the dome, punctured the dome, and then 300 feet down to land on the stone floor and did not explode. There was loads of people in there worshipping at the time, widely understood as a miracle. In the chapter on Churchill, I'm investigating the extent to which Churchill was influenced by Christianity or had a Christian worldview. Now, it's interesting because Churchill's nanny was clearly an evangelical Christian and would have taught Churchill prayer and Bible stories and so on. And so when he went to school, there was an incident where he felt his faith was tested and he wanted to do what his nanny, Mrs. Everest, would have wanted him to do in terms of standing for the faith. And then Churchill had a very strong sense of providence. He clearly believed that God had called him to lead the nation in the time of war and clearly stepped into that and believed that and referenced that several times. And he quoted the Bible lots of times in his speeches and stuff. So, he's infused with the Bible, and even in telegrams to Roosevelt, one time he just quotes one Bible verse and that's it in one of these telegrams. Can you imagine world leaders doing that today? But, he wanted to express this sort of shared faith and this shared confidence that God was on their side. And one time his bodyguard, he had a conversation with his bodyguard. Do you remember I told you there's someone else watching after me? And the bodyguard said, oh, you mean so-and-so? And Churchill said, no, I mean the chap upstairs, kind of thing. So, he had this sense that God was protecting him when, he walked and just seconds later, there was a bomb fell just behind where he'd walked, for example, and things like that. This sense that God was protecting him for this time for a purpose. What's different about this book is it's trying to look at the extent to which Christian faith played a role in terms of inspiring people on the battlefield or in command, in terms of their role in history and their role in that. And I think that's what's really different here and is not really done by any of the other historians, mainstream historians, when they look at this kind of thing. And I think it's a sort of factor, the God factor, the Christian factor, that's kind of left out. And it's really good to see it explored in this book.